friends, today I'm making some crafts and I thought I'd bring you along, and I've got some beautiful floral and vegetable images from probably Victorian times out of a book, and I picked the book up very cheaply and I thought I would cut out these. They're only on paper, glazed paper, so what I need to do really is change the back, maybe put some kind of pretty card, stick them on to the card and then cut them out again. And then what I plan to do is, using glue, I'm going to try it with the PVA and roll the ends onto a nice twine so that we have lots of these lovely images hanging on a twine, and we'll make some pretty bunting, and they'll be perfect to go either in a kitchen, a garden room or a shed. So I'm going to bring you along with the process and hopefully it'll inspire you to go out and make things. And it doesn't have to be fruit or vegetables, it could be any sort of images that you like, that you want to make as bunting. So it could be like plants, flowers, photographs, anything that interests you, cartoon characters, etc. So it's, you know, the same principle. Now if it doesn't easily stick on with PVA glue, then I will try it with the glue gun and the glue sticks. We'll just see how it goes. But because there's text on the back of my images, then as I said before, I'm going to go and find some pretty sort of thicker paper, and I have a lot of paper in a box. I've got some beautiful images from this book and some very fun ones too, and we've got all sorts of lovely little pictures, and some of them are adverts for seeds that were from years and years ago, which would be really nice to hang, as I say, in a potting shed. This is good as well though. So I'm going to sort of measure them all up, just the size, because they are different sizes, so I might have to make two sort of strands, measure them up, and then might make two, so some big ones and some little ones for example, and then stick them on and then start sticking it on the twine, and I'll show you as I go along. So I hope that's of interest to you. Right, so I've stuck all these images down onto paper, so on the back of these images you'll just see a nice pattern, and we've got quite a lot of nice images. When they've all dried, I'm going to chop them up. These two haven't got any card on because they're reversible, so that's really good. We're not had to use that, so there we are. So let's do those and cut them out when they're dry. So if I were you, I'd look out for nice images in books and in the charity shops, thrift shops, and sort of collect them, all these sort of pictures and things that you like, and then make them into a bunting and hang them up. Right, so what I've done now is I've popped all these on sort of nice papers. So we've got no text on the back, of course, and we've got all the nice images. So the main thing to do is to actually get them in some kind of size order, because there's quite a few different ones. So it might be good just to mix the size and have a play with the colours and see what order you want, basically. Then when you're very happy with how they look and the order, then you can start gluing them together. And what I want to do is mix a few colours so they're not all greens. So we've got some tomatoes, and also mixing the flowers with vegetables as well, and I think that'll go nice. Now I'm going to work out now how to stick them all on, and I'm thinking I might use my glue gun to stick it to the twine, and I'm going to just leave quite a bit on the end, so I've got quite a lot to tie this garland to anything I want. So I'll leave a piece probably about 30 centimetres on the end, and then I'll start sticking that onto the back with the glue gun. So sort of on the back so that you can't see it from the front. I was going to go with the PVA glue, but I think that'll be long and messy. So this is probably going to be a lot faster, less messy, and I think the result's going to be good. So I'm going to protect my tablecloth and I'm going to get going with this project, and I'll show you in a bit. I don't know, I might not even make these into a garland. I might have these as shelf sitters to put on the dresser, put the garland on the top, and then put these on the shelves in between things. So I'll come back to that and have a look, another thought on that. But let's get on with this. Plug the glue gun in, wait for it to melt, and we'll start gluing and sticking when we're ready. Use a glue gun stick, that, to measure in between each little picture, and then hopefully we'll have a nice even garland. Hopefully you can see all the pictures now. So this is a great way of making decorations for your home. Hope you're having a good day, and hope this inspires you to have a little look in magazines for nice pictures, because you could look at your magazine and you could do something like food orientated, couldn't you? If you wanted it in the kitchen, for example, or little designs out of your magazines that you like. And you could make a bunting for your kitchen out of any sort of magazine that you get. Cut them out. Nice pictures of holiday images. You know, sky's the limit really. Have a look at things around you and see if you can cut them up and reuse them. It's a great way of recycling, of course. Get your string, then pop it onto the back and do yourself a nice straight line all the way at the back. And quickly push it right into the glue like that. So do the next one. I'm going to use that glue stick, like I say, to put in between the pictures. Keep your string nice and straight. Put it in the picture so as a marker, and then we'll stick it on like so. And we want a nice straight line across, because what we want to do is make sure it sticks. And then when that's done, move it along, pop your glue stick in between, put in the space in between, and I'm then popping my, hopefully a level line roughly on the back with the glue, making sure I'm keeping the right amount of string in between each picture. Push it right down into the glue as it sets, making sure no blobs stick out from the front, and then let it dry. And it dries very quick. So you get the idea. It's a little like assembly line, and if you've got them all in order, it should all work nicely. Okay, I'm going to show you these when I've done them all. Right then, so we've got them all stuck, and then we'll hang them up so you can have a little look at them. So I'm having to show you with these hung up against a wall so you can see what they're like. They're so simple, and you can hang them wherever you like, and basically just back them, that's the main thing, and then stick them onto something, so it gives it a little bit more firmness basically. Very pleased with that. That's quite a long banner as well. Now this one, as I said, these are quite big and different shapes, so I think I'll dress it all up and put it on the dresser, I think, or you could just stick them on the wall. And so very, very nice little pictures. So I hope that's inspired you to do things with, you know, little pictures out of books. And, you know, if you see a nice book with some pictures in, to think about how you could actually use it. You don't have to keep it in a book, especially if it's an old book and it's quite damaged. You know, think about taking it out and making it into something else that you can use about the home. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you can give me a like and subscribe. There'll be more videos with makes, bakes, sewing and sort of DIY coming up soon. And thanks very much for watching, and I hope you will come back soon. Bye for now.